So you will have to bear with me because this one's a little hard to do with one person. This is the vampire castle on the planet of Lezipt, which is where my campaign takes place. This castle is actually in two locations in the world, and it was built identical on both sides of the planet. So, to make this simple, if you don't want to use a paper map and this, I made a top that changes. So when it's in one part of the world, these are red cones. And then when you're on the other side, you just swap them to purple and you take off the flag and put the purple one on. So I wanted to make sure mistakes weren't made when I built it. So I have all the flags. The original ones were black before its time. Then when they split forces, which is those two vampires, that one and that one. So if you look at the world on a map, one castle's here and the other castle is here. So you can zoom in. It's on the exact opposite side of the planet on both continents. So it makes it easier. So you can determine which one you're on or which castle you are by the color code. When I did the stained glass, I did it almost like the symbol of Seoul for Korea, South Korea, but I used purple instead of blue. And she came out really nice. I have this extra piece here if you don't want the gate, or you wanted the gate to be not there. But that little magnet thing lets this open. It's probably very tough from the glue drying, but it gives you an idea of how the outer wall is. And you got the wall all the way around, which can be used for any location. It doesn't have to just be this castle. Came out really nice, but you got to bear with me because I have to actually put the phone down to move the pieces. So give me 1 second. I'll have you look at the wall. Okay, the first layer, when you first go in the first entrance of the castle, you have your doorway, and then you have your bookshelf, your stairs to go up, your blood fountain, and I did two torches on both sides, on both floors too, just so players don't have to worry about lighting. And that's your spot where the portal of night would be. So if it were triggered for whatever reason, that's what the portal would look like. Comes out really nice. It's also nice that you only need one castle to do both sides at the same time. Then you have your second floor if you go up the stairs. That's the entryway to come up. Then once again you have the two torches. You have the wine rack, the seating to have communication, and the world map. Look familiar? That's funny. And of course, a stone coffin. And there's your ladder to go up. Now when you come upstairs, you're actually coming up into a little hatch right there on the top, and then you're on this top level, which has a hole all the way around the inner wall, and it has a dual door. So in here you have your stained glass, your fire, wooden coffin, and another ladder that goes up, which will bring you all the way to the top where you have another port, and that's where your 6 skellies that's where they go. They go all around guarding the castle. So it's pretty good breakdown. It's easy. If you don't put the walls out, like when they're inside the castle, you can actually turn the castle and have both floors on the same table. And then you only really need the top if something was happening up there, because mainly the interactions you would have with the vampires would be in there. And then I made like a little magnetic lock, so when you want to close these gates, because they wouldn't stay shut together without some kind of way to hold them together. Hard to do with one hand, and it keeps them closed. I like the fact that every time I build something, I make sure there's an auxiliary in case you want to make like a whole wall with no gate. But that's your vampire castle. So the one side is the Clermont and the other side is the Denovan. That's why it's C and D for the banners. But it's really nice. I mean, it's actually something that in the campaign, only one side would they even be able to attempt to have a meeting with them because they're civilized. Whereas if they went to the other side, they wouldn't make it through the gate. So, just more adding. It's nice to be able to build things now, because for my whole life doing it, especially while in the Army, you can't build shit. All you could do is on paper and pencil. And now that I have the area and I have the room and I'm able to design the things that I've been saying for years, it's nice to see things come to fruition. To look around and, when I need something to put on the board, I can actually put something for real. I don't have to say, oh, well, like in this ship. Nope. If I need a ship, I got one. If I need a sky ship, I got one. I even did a little fur altar for the fetch howlers, and I did a sand altar for the feline moon watchers, or as you know them, the tabaxi. So it's coming out good. Now that I got the arena done, it's nice because I have the whole town of Itwon, which is under the arena right now. Then in Kuro, I have the arena. So I want one main big thing in each major city. And then the castles, of course, are gigantic. But, yeah, it's coming along. Do you want to come into the castle? That just looks fucking eerie.